chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing, just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Merry Christmas Day. A Merry Christmas Day.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Give me another. Joe, we've been up for hours. What have you been writing? Oh, I got carried away with our delicious revenge play last night.
Hello, it is the middle of the night, so of course I'm beginning a reading vlog because that's just how I roll on this channel, apparently. So I sort of have deja vu doing this because I tried to do this exact reading vlog about a week ago and it didn't go very well for me. I began it on the Wednesday evening and I was like, tomorrow's Thursday, I have the whole day off work, I'm going to spend the whole day reading to try and, you know, get to my Goodreads goal, try and up, you know, my reading. And so I picked a bunch of short books off my TBR and I was really hyped about it and I was like energized. I was going to read a bunch of books in that day, and then I just spent the whole day asleep. And then that Thursday night, after I'd been sleeping all day, I was like, no, I gotta like salvage this reading vlog. And then I read two books, like one after the other. I read Misfits by Michaela Cole and I read Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. Both good in different ways, and I was like, okay, right, I'm doing quite well. I'm going to turn this now into a weekend reading vlog and see what I can read for the rest of the weekend. And then I proceeded to not read anything for the rest of that weekend. So all of that footage is useless. But it's currently, well, I'd say it's the evening of Wednesday the 22nd. It's actually 1 AM, so it's technically early hours of Thursday the 23rd. But we are approaching Christmas time, we are approaching the end of the year, and I am currently 5 books behind on my Goodreads challenge for the year. So I'm trying to get to 60 and I believe I'm currently at 53, but I'm 5 books behind. So I'm just going to spend the next couple of days leading up to Christmas, you know, the aftermath of Christmas leading up to New Year, just trying to get through as many of these short books that I can and like documenting that process and seeing how it goes. And hopefully tomorrow, which is Thursday, again, deja vu, my whole day off work, I can get through some books tomorrow. So I'm currently 58 pages into one of those short books, which is Poison for Breakfast by Lemony Snicket, and I'm really loving this so far. It feels so nostalgic. The writing style is just what you expect from Lemony Snicket. All his signature phrases are in here and it just made me feel like transported immediately back to when I was like 5 years old and hearing my mum read me a series of unfortunate events. This isn't really connected to that universe. We don't really get any mentions of Violet Klaus or Sunny yet, but we are following Lemony Snicket as a sort of personal investigator character. Obviously he sort of documents the stories of the Baudelaire orphans, so this is a different story where he's documenting something else and he is investigating his own poisoning. So we start the book and he's just had breakfast and then a note gets slipped under his door that says, you just had poison for breakfast. And then he sets about trying to find out who poisoned him and why they would want to poison him and kill him. And because the original idea for this reading vlog was to be like, how many books can I read in a single day? And the title was going to be like, I read X amount of books in X amount of hours. I set my timer while I was reading so I could like see how long each book took me. So I still have like the timer like in my phone for this book, so I feel like I'm going to carry it on for this reading vlog and just out of interest see you know, just how long it takes me to get through these books. And hopefully that's the motivating thing, because I think if I actually sit down and carve out the time to read and make myself do it, I can actually get through these pretty quickly. So that's the agenda. I might read some of this tonight, but I might just go to bed and try and wake up early enough tomorrow and just breeze through a bunch of books then. But of course I will keep you updated. So hopefully this attempt goes a lot better than the previous one, because that was just a little bit embarrassing, if I'm honest. To be honest, I didn't even have to tell you about it. I could have just started this vlog and you would have been none the wiser if I hadn't mentioned it. But you know, I did it now, so I need to go to bed. This is silly. Anyway, I will see you soon with an update soon. Bye. It's the 31st of December, it's the end of the year, so I should be updating my trying to finish my Goodreads goal by the end of the year reading vlog to say I did it. Here are all the books I read. I hit the goal, I hit the number. Great, come back next year for some more reading fun. But if you know me at all, that's not the update that we're here to give. But before we get into that, let's just address the elephant in the room here, shall we? So, oh, didn't mean to zoom in on the crotch. That's fun. That's the kind of extra content you get here. Right, here we go. So I'm not shaving. I'm not a 14-year-old boy. I got this really weird lip reaction that has happened to me before, but it's just been particularly bad these past few days. Because I've got quite sensitive skin, I usually put it down to wearing a mask, that like just having a piece of cloth on my face, like breathing, all of that stuff just like irritates my skin. But it felt much more like an allergic reaction this time, because my lip properly swelled up and it was cracked and it was bleeding and weeping. It was really painful. It was like burning and itchy, and it just looked like I had like a botched Botox job, and so I literally like could not sit still comfortably without slathering Sudocrem on my face. Like the minute I took the cream off, it was just too painful, it was too burny, and so I just had to just live with Sudocrem on my face for like the past 4 days. Like even going out in public, I've put a mask on over my Sudocrem and just like dealt with the mess because it's just been too painful to do otherwise. So that's what's been happening. And I'm not going to blame that for my lack of reading. I think also just I've tried to relax a bit these past few days, like sue me. So I mean, I think it's definitely part of it. Like when you're in pain like that, I did just sort of want to sit and let Modern Family wash over me, which is like I don't even know if I enjoy that show. I just wanted like a cozy sitcom to sort of cheer me up. I'm now 4 seasons in and I still don't know if I like it. It's just one of those things where you put it on and it just washes over you, and like head empty, no thoughts, no critical thinking skills. I'm not even sure if I enjoy it. But now I'm 4 seasons in, I gotta finish, right? That's just logic, that's how it works. So now that I've updated you on my lip situation, we're Look at all the extra bullshit that you get in these vlogs. You come here for the books and you just get so much more that nobody asked for. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to talking about books and reading. So here's where we're at with my Goodreads goal. So it is the 31st of December and I'm at 56 out of 60. So I need to read 4 books in the next, what time is it? It's currently 12:08 midday. So I need to read 4 books in the next 12 hours if I'm going to hit my goal without lowering it. And I had to rethink my strategy a bit because I looked at the pile of the books that I had originally sort of picked out that are like the shortest on my TBR, and the ones that I have left include The World's Wife by Caroline Duffy and What White People Do Next by Emma DeBerry. And while these are very short, they're not ones that I particularly want to rush through. I had a little flick through What White People Do Next, and while it is an essay and is you know, semi-conversational and accessible, there is quite a lot of information and quite a lot of sources cited and quite a lot of sort of academic knowledge in here, so I don't feel like it's one, given the subject matter, that I should rush through and should like use to bump up my goal. I feel like I need to sit with this and give it proper time and attention and like make a note of the other text it's referring to that I want to read. So that's not one that I'm going to try and read today. Similarly with The World's Wife, and I thought I would be able to do this one just because a lot of these poems are familiar to me. I read a lot of them before. We studied it in school and I wrote an essay on Mrs. Midas, which is one of the poems in here. So I'm quite familiar with the content, but again, just having a look at like the language and all of the different poems, I just feel like it's not one that I want to rush through. It's one that I want to take my time with and like make a note of which ones are my favorite and stuff. So again, not a good one for like trying to hit the goal. But one that I do want to try and read today or get through as much as possible is The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. And this isn't actually my copy, it's my mum's copy, but since I started raving about the film, which I saw at BFI Film Festival in October, mum wanted to read the book before it came out on Netflix, which is today. And I said to myself I wanted to read it before I watched it again when it was out on Netflix, just to compare the book to the film and see, you know, how they compare, basically. I've talked before about how interested I am in like the art of adaptation. So I really would like to get through as much as I can of this before I watch it with my family. I don't think we're going to be watching it tonight because, you know, New Year's, there's a lot going on, like drinks and New Year's stuff. So I do have a little bit more time to read this. Say if I don't finish it tonight, I can like finish it January 1st or something. But ideally, if I want to hit my goal, I will read this in one sitting and can log it today. So obviously, as I've taken out some options for what I was going to read today, I had another look through my TBR pile and tried to find other things that I could read to bump up the number that were a bit more suitable. And I did find 2 sort of graphic novel small press things that will be a lot, you know, faster to read, and I think given with all the busyness that's going on today with like prep for New Year's tonight, I think is more realistic for me to sit and read. So the first one is Fox Bunny Funny by Andy Hartzell, which is a little 100-page graphic novel that my partner got me for my birthday either this year or last year. Like time isn't real, I don't know. But it's a comic strip that has no speech, it's all just visual. So I'm really excited to see how it kind of tells that story, and I think it's about like oppression. I think is like a metaphor for capitalism. So that's fun, but it's told in the style of sort of like a fun children's cartoon. So I'm excited to see what this is like, and hopefully I can get through it relatively quickly. And the other comic that I have is a little small press one that I got from my friend B, who is also a comic creator and illustrator, so she knows all the stuff about what's good, so I trust her judgment, and that is Sour Pickles by Cleo Isadora. And I have checked, it is on Goodreads. It doesn't have a cover on there, but at least it's on there and I can log it. And it's a little comic about sort of coming of age and being an artist and what that is like, basically. So I feel like it is going to hit me in several sensitive points, which I may not need today, but it might happen anyway. So if you've been keeping up with the maths, that's only 3 books. It's 2 comics and The Lost Daughter, and that would bring me up from 56 to 59, so I'm still 1 short. I don't know, I might try and read one of my Penguin little black classics or something, or the mint ones, I don't know. The temptation to lower my goal to 55 and just call it a day is very strong, but for the sake of you all out there, for the sake of my pride, I'm gonna try. I might not succeed. I might be lowering it to 55 at 11:59 p.m. this evening, and then I'll update you and say that I failed. But it ain't over till it's over. So we're just gonna see how the day goes, and I will update you, good or bad news, at the end of the year, which is in 12 hours. And this morning I finished Ghost Wall, which is a short 150 page book that I obviously wanted to read towards my goal, but it took me a little bit longer than anticipated because there's just a lot going on, and the way that it's written is very singular. I don't think I've read another book that's written like this. It feels a lot like Stream of Consciousness. The dialogue isn't given a new line on the page, and Sarah Moss doesn't use speech marks, so a lot of it just feels like it is washing over you. And then you get to a point where sort of shocking or uncomfortable things start to happen in the book. For example, our main character getting abused verbally and physically by her father. When stuff like that happens, it's not given as much time on the page as it may in other books, for example. So when you're reading sort of like a more conventionally written book, when something shocking happens, it might be given a lot of time on the page. You'll have shorter sentences, you'll have space breaks, you'll have the format of the book, and the way it's written and the way it appears on the page will mirror the magnitude of the event, if that makes sense. Whereas with this book, with it all being stream of consciousness, it gets lost in everything else, and I guess it sort of mirrors our main character's reaction to it. She doesn't treat it like this big deal, it's just part of her daily life, and if she protests about it too much, if she thinks about it too much, it's too hard, and it just is too anxiety inducing to think about the abuse and think about what she's going through on a day-to-day basis. And it doesn't really come to a head until the end of the novel, which just left me completely reeling. It's just such a singular, unique novel. Like, I don't think I read anything else like this, and I don't know if I could say that I enjoyed it, because I think at the beginning I found it quite hard to get into, and a lot of the content is quite hard going, but it was definitely rewarding. Like, I just didn't see anything coming. I didn't know how it was going to end. I didn't know where it was going, and it's definitely, like I said, a really unique reading experience that is very memorable, and I really value that with books. So I really think this is one that I will come back to and I will recommend to people. So yeah, I'm very glad I read this one. Hello, I won't keep you because I know the camera quality is awful, and that is because I am not at home where I normally am. I'm in Bournemouth visiting my partner because they've just had a fairly minor surgery, but they're like recuperating and resting, and I've come to keep them company, so just watch movies and play video games. And I forgot that I hadn't done the like ending wrap-up part to my December reading vlog, which is going up, like, it's not that late, but it's going up in January, when I intended it to go up in like the last few days of December, so like people probably still had some Christmas feeling, whereas now it's like the 7th of January, and I just don't know if people have the festive feels, but I don't want to waste all the Christmas footage that I had. So here we are. You may have guessed, but we are ending on a slightly disappointing note, and I did not manage to hit the 60 books because, listen, I read the 2 comics, Fox Bunny Funny and Sour Pickles, enjoyed both, really nice end to the year, and I just thought, am I going to spend time with my family, or am I going to lock myself in my room and like speed read 2 more books? And it just didn't seem like the energy I wanted to bring into 2022, like that stressed, frazzled energy. So I was like, I'm just going to lower my goal to 55 so that I can say that I hit it and it'd be at 58 books, and this is how we're finishing the year. So 2021 was 58 books and this many pages, which I was kind of surprised. I think my average page count was like 300 and something, so I did not too bad. I think I did read a bunch of short books towards the end of the year, but I think the rest of the year I read some pretty chunky books. I read A Little Life, which was like 700 pages, and I read Addie LaRue and Cat's Eye, which were both over 500, nearly 600. So I read some pretty chunky books this year, so I don't think I'm too much of a slacker, but there's always room for improvement, and I'm really hoping that 2022 is the year that I finally can hit 100 books in a year. I've been setting that as my goal, as my yearly goal, since like 2014 when I learned that Goodreads was a thing, and I just haven't hit it. And the closest I've come is 70, which is still way off, so just put out candles for me, manifest 2022 is the year that Anna reads 100 books. So I'm sorry if you had faith in me throughout this vlog that I would hit 60. I did not. I disappointed you, but there's always next year. So I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and I will see you very soon with another video soon. Bye.